Hey everybody, it's Scott. I just thought I'd come here with another video for you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. You're all welcome here. Um, I wanted to share just some different things on my channel and what's kind of coming through with me lately. So if you notice, if you go to my channel on YouTube, I have a whole list of new featured channels. So I just want to make a really good call out for you to take a look at that if you like. I have a bunch of new featured stuff here um, on my channel. So I just want to do quick shout outs to the following folks. Gigi Young, great channel. If you want to visit her, Gigi Young, you can look her up on YouTube. Right above here, do the search. It's Gigi Young. She's great with like cosmological aspects. Andrew Barker, I just found him and he's a reader, intuitive, Indigo, just incredible. So check out Andrew Barker. You can go to my channel and there's like a featured channels link on the side. So, but I also want to give a shout out to Kelly from The Truth and Story. She has been doing a great series called Into the Wild Woods, where we've been like reading cards about, in the Wildwood Tarot. I've been doing a lot of Greenwood readings with them. But just a great channel, The Truth and Story with Kelly. She does a lot of live content, so you'll get notifications when somebody does live content on YouTube. She's great. Tom Benjamin is another person that I'm subscribed to. If you're into like truth and sort of truther stuff and a little bit of conspiracy, but a little bit of monitoring the news and perspective from that point of view from somebody who's kind of like a younger generation, go to Destroying the Illusion. There's also a channel I like called Reiki Conciliation, and this is such a powerful channel. It's about Phyllis Furamoto and her journey through this process of conciliation. Phyllis Furamoto is the the great grandmaster of Reiki. She's the granddaughter of Hawayo Takata, who was the person who brought Reiki, the system of Reiki as we know it, first from Hawaii to the West. So she studied with Dr. Hayashi in his clinic in Japan, and in the 1980s she brought Reiki to the West. But Phyllis Furamoto is her granddaughter, and she has this great story about reconciliation and the story of Reiki and her life and her relationship with her grandmother. So I recommend that so much. Reiki Conciliation. Another channel, Chris Smith. He's another fellow reader, and I like his perspective. He gives videos and card readings, and it's just very down to earth. My yoga teacher, Gracia McKinley, has a great channel. She doesn't have very many videos, but you can go visit her channel, plus visit her website. Her website is myspiritcommunity.org. I talk about her a lot because she is just great. James Knight, he is the founder of Gentle Somatic Yoga, somebody that I really admire. I'm thinking about taking his course, his online course, once he redevelops it in January, February. But shout out to his channel. He has a lot of great stuff. And if you're into yoga or relaxation, Gentle Somatic Yoga is based on somatic principles and Hana somatic education, and it's helped me immensely. Gracia McKinley also does Hana somatic stuff and has her own brain-based yoga therapy program. The Kilted Coaches is a channel that I think is great and hilarious if you're into fitness, if you're into mindset. They're Scottish, they're buddies. Just great channel, The Kilted Coaches. I also want to give a shout out to, I don't know why he's not on here. Hold on here. I want to give a shout out as well. Let me find him. He is Andy Myers. Yes, Psychic Andy Myers. It's all one word. So if you do Psychic Andy Myers, and Myers is M-Y-E-R-S. So he's a psychic from Nebraska. Really down to earth, great channel. I love his content as well. So he has a great book if you want to pick it up. I think he has a few books. So But just very down to earth. He comes to Minnesota a lot and around the Midwest. So you don't see a lot of Midwest psychics that are very grounded and just kind of like average people. So I really like his channel for that. So I wanted to kind of talk about some really cool stuff that's just kind of come through for me too. And I know I talked a little bit about my story and some of the dreams that I had, the epic dreams that I've had. The last one being about the dream of seeing a lot of indigos and intuitives being like kidnapped or held hostage with hoods over their heads and going by me in buses, and then me getting out of my vehicle to try and escape the forces from coming to get me. And then inside that dream again, having this vision of this wave of blue indigo star seed auric energy just being transplanted across the earth, where the new seeds will happen so that we can actually get this evolution taking place on our earth. It's kind of slowed. We kind of thought 2012 we'd be like this new awakening. Well, you all know that there's so much going on in the world right now, and it's not necessarily there. So just to be honest, we're not there right now, but there's a lot of want for that. So with these epic dreams and these things that I've had like coming through to me about indigos and just the people that I'm connecting with and the stories that I'm hearing, and just the energy that's kind of coming through. And I know that this is kind of a time where we're all coming to the surface. And I know for me, you know, I went through like the divorce, and I've gone through a body transformation. I've lost 71 pounds now. As of today, it's 71 pounds. So I'm still going. I was told by somebody who was 20 years younger than me that I was damn sexy, and I'm really happy to hear something like that. I've never in my life have kind of felt that. And at 48, to hear that from somebody who is 28, that was just incredible. So, but I think it's time that a lot of us are kind of waking up. A lot of us are bringing all this stuff to the surface. And if we are here to teach and guide, we're starting to really figure that out. We are starting to come forward and be more bold in the fact that, yeah, we've got something to teach. We have something to give, and it's time. It is beyond time. And I don't know if this has to do with astrology, or my teacher Gracia had said something about the sun being in Jupiter, and along the sun's path in Jupiter that will be into this for a full year. And just the energy around that is like manifestation, just complete manifestation, which I think is incredible. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe just the whole geopolitical forces that are happening right now. Sometimes I feel like political leaders and the political climate, even though right now it's just really, well, it sucks. It might be a vital part of our awakening. It might be a vital part where we say this is enough. We're already seeing things happen coming into our consciousness. We're seeing all of this stuff with sexual assault coming to the forefront into people's consciousness. So so much is manifesting. So many people are waking up. So many indigos, I think, are waking up. The people who really feel that they've had purpose. They were born, you know, around 1970 or whatever. I was born in 69, and so I was probably one of the first ones in that, what they classify as indigo children. But I think a lot of us are waking up. We are ready to start teaching. We're ready to start manifesting. And I think that's awesome. So kind of what's kind of coming through to me is like, once we're in this process, and so many people are in this process right now, what are we going to do with this? How are we going to kind of practice and ground that? Well, I think that first we need to ground ourselves in that total, you know, you don't even have to embrace the concept indigo or indigo children or star seed people or anything like that. We've got to start grounding ourselves that we are empowered beings. We are empowered interdimensional beings, empowered spirits, whether you call it indigos or star seeds or cosmic beings. But we have to like first get into that and fully embody that we're cosmic empowered beings. And our lives go on. We are multi-lived, interdimensional. We are starting to wake up to this, and I think that our Earth is starting to wake up to this. There are so many things that are going on right now, even just in the whole cosmos. If you believe that our sun is, starting to get towards its quantum leap, there's some videos in Destroying the Illusion about that. And also just, I kind of lost my train of thought. Just this idea that we first need to ground ourselves in that. And then also, once we're grounding in that, what do we need to surrender? What do we need to just surrender and release from the past energy and guck and all of that, or the ego, however you define that? What do we need to surrender to, just to release? And what do we have to surrender to get to where we're going? What do we need to just open ourselves up to? And maybe it was more because I did recently purchase this Power of Surrender cards. I've been working with these so much, and they're very powerful. And just the concepts of just surrendering into an embodiment of who you are. So this idea of grounding indigos, grounding us and really understanding and embracing that in ourselves. Whether you call it indigo children or starseed children or psychic or intuitive children of light, light beings, light workers, light warrior, whatever you call it, it's time for us to ground in that and really, really just sort of like own it. I mean, totally own it and rock this whole thing. I say that a lot. I like that term, rock this thing. And but then, like, yeah, we're really gonna own this, but let's really surrender. I mean, really surrender and loosen those ideas of ego that we have that say that, oh, there's this little thing here in the corner, this little, twisted kind of logic that I still have in the back of my mind, that I still believe about myself, or that I still believe about society or my family or spirituality. It's time to surrender that. Just get rid of it and just loosen up and fully embrace that so that we can move forward. Right now, I think in society too, I have a lot of friends who are like on probably both sides or all sides of the political spectrum, but with all this stuff that's going on with the politics and our leaders being, charged with sexual assault, or this whole pedogate thing, if you follow the news, or just scandal after scandal. I think too, to heal all this, we're going to first acknowledge that, the victims of this stuff that's been happening, they've been dealing with this, and they're awakening enough to finally come forward with courage, just like we're awakening to come forward with our own courage. There are people out there that are catching on, and it's like, yeah, it's time. It's time to stop carrying on this weight. And they're coming forward. We need to empower them. We need to empower women to come forward more. We even need to empower men to come forward more about the abuses that they've suffered. And this is all part of it. And then after that, I do believe that for us to go forward, we're going to have a period of release, or a period of forgiveness, or whatever that looks like, in order for us to move forward. We've got to, this is a process. It's a huge process. And so yeah, that was my ramble for a lot of that stuff, but I think this is really what's going on in the world. We're really awakening. And I think there are fewer of us than there were back around 2012. I don't know what's really happened, but there are fewer of us. But I feel like the fewer of us are gotten a lot stronger, and it's been kind of exponentially stronger over the last few years. But yeah, so we're dwindling a little bit, but I think that the folks that are sticking around from this whole indigo sphere, who are part of this embodiment, we're getting a lot stronger, and we're learning to speak our truth. We're learning to shed what we don't need, those things that have happened in our life. Just with me, like, this has been as much a spiritual journey as a body journey for me for losing 71 pounds so far. I'm about 24 pounds from my goal of 225. I have not been 225 since, and I'm 6'2", I'm a big guy. I've not been 225 since I was 23 years old. And right now, I was at this weight before. I'm at the last weight I was at before I slingshotted back up to 318 pounds. I'm at 249, 248 pounds. So I was at 248.5. And I thought, oh, I'm doing great. And then something traumatic happened, and I slingshot back up to 318 over the next year after that. So I have like 24 pounds to go from my goal, a goal that I haven't been at since age 23. But I'm, it's part of releasing that. Even at age 23, I didn't really feel empowered. I was a kid, more or less. And not to say that, kids are 23 now, but, it was a different way of growing up back then. It was like 23 in the mid-90s. So we have a lot of consciousness that's come forward since the mid-90s. And yeah, it's just, even for me, like with this weight loss, it's a spiritual journey of shedding a lot of codependency, a lot of fear of rejection, fear of needing to hold on to something, feeling like I had to protect myself from that, or just feeling unloved, feeling like, food was my comfort, feeling unloved, not being able to express how I wanted to be loved, or express how I wanted to feel in my body. I don't know if you resonate with this. It's tough, and everybody's awakening is different. But if you can kind of come at it as a whole person, I kind of went through hell to kind of come through this awakening. So many people, and I'm sure I'm speaking to some people out there, because up to 50% of American culture is supposed to be pre-diabetic by 2020, right around the corner. These things aren't serving us. We're not being served. And we have such light to share with the world that continually just being mass marketed junk and crazy food that we put in our body to feed this need to feel love, when it's just fake, is just a huge problem. And I'm just here to tell you that there's another path, and I totally support you, and I totally feel where you are, because I was there. And I'm not here to boast, or although I really like, how I feel now, and I have goals, and I go to the gym, and I do all these things that I didn't do in the past. But I just, reaching back, I know what that feels like, to just feel hopeless, to feel like this is what your life's going to be like, and yeah, I'm just going to go to the doctor and get a prescription, and I might not recover from this, and this is what it'll be like from now on. I'm here to tell you that's not true. You have total control. And I have a friend who's lost 117 pounds. My friend Sean has lost 117 pounds in the last year. I've lost 71 pounds. If there's any time in the world to really ask for a miracle and then receive a miracle, it's now. There's no reason not to. And a part of that is just letting go. Letting go of the things that don't serve you. Getting that new mindset, saying, I'm going to open myself up to wherever I am in my life. And I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. If you want to feel healthy, if you want to feel vital, if you want to feel sexy, it's time to start just surrendering and saying, I want to have that. And I'm going to have that. And if you have that certainty and you ask for that miracle and you start step by step moving towards it, or really feeling that, you're going to get there. This has been a lot of stuff I've been talking about. Wow. But anyway, yeah, just as a something I'm thinking about doing, and I'm going to meditate with it for a few more days and keep doing it. But I've started really working with these two decks together. The Indigo Angel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and the Power of Surrender cards by Judith Orloff. So I've been working with these together because I think they have so much to say together as where people are on their path right now, and on this awakened path, being grounded in the awakening and then realizing what we need to release or surrender to move even farther forward. So I have two cards today that I pulled out that I was really drawn to, just randomly found the card, flipped it over, and it's just totally what I needed to see, and hopefully this resonates with you. From the Indigo Angels deck, the first card I picked out was Manifest. Such a parallel to this Sun and Jupiter aspect that my teacher Gracia talked about. Manifestation. This cosmic power that's coming through that's allowing us to manifest. If you at all kind of study or have heard of these things, you can think of it as archetypal, or you can think of it as cosmic, or however you want to feel about it. I don't want to instill any fear, but even for me, I really resonate with the energies of certain, what they call ET species of the Andromedans. If you want to just look up Andromedans or things like that, the archetype or the kind of the personality of Andromedan interdimensional beings, we'll call them that. They are so good at manifesting, and those of you who believe that there's an Andromedan starseed happening right now, this is the manifestation time. This Sun and Jupiter. You know, my Northern Druid site came about in 21 days. I started it October 12th, and boom, 21 days later I had like a full site with so many offerings, and then I have this dream about the indigo star seeds and all of that, and it's just kind of set me on this path. So manifestation, stepping and grounding into our manifestation. We have so much power to manifest, and if there's an idea you want to start now, I want you to start it. Start the first step. Start manifesting, and don't try to be perfect. How many times do we stop doing something because we have to proofread and reread and redo that and redo this? Being perfect doesn't get it done. Just manifest it. I don't care if you have typos. I don't care if you have, mistakes. I don't care if you flub up on any sort of fact or fiction that you want to talk about. God knows I've made mistakes. I've told you about certain cards, and I've said, oh, there's no wolf card in this deck, and I was wrong about that. But so what? Start manifesting. If you want to start doing videos, start doing videos. If you want to start reading cards, start reading cards. If you want to go on a weight loss journey, take the first step. This is your manifestation phase. Step into it by starting it. Start something now because it's in your hands. You have that power. Step into it. With the Power of Surrender cards, so I'll just flip that around for you. The card here is Surrender to Your Soul's Path. Okay, I've talked about this card before in another video where I introduced these Power of Surrender cards. Society does not necessarily reward us for surrendering to our soul's path, but take a breath and just sort of, what would that feel like if you just surrendered to it? Even if you surrender to it in this moment, in this breath, what does that feel like to you? What does it feel like when you feel like you can just surrender to it? Just let go and get into that soul's path. Maybe you don't even know what your soul's path is right now, but you can surrender to, I'm going to find my soul's path. Start drawing things. Start reading books. Start being curious. I think that is the biggest step. Start being curious. Surrender to the soul's path. Surrender that you're on a soul path. So, yeah, I think I'm going to start reading both of these card decks together. And who knows what's going to happen, because I really think it's important. We're going to step into this indigo light, this indigo power, you know, this real manifestation phase that we need to get into. It's the first step. And then just from there, realize what we need to let go of. What do we need to surrender to? We've got this path. It's like, okay, let's clean it all out. Clean out the edges. Sweep away what the ego is feeding us. Sweep away what we need to sweep away from past trauma, past suffering. If you're angry, be angry. If you're sad, be sad. Move through it. You know, when I went through my divorce a year ago, God, I was sad. And it's, yeah, and there's parts of times, every once in a while I'm still sad, but I felt it. I dealt with it. Don't cover it up. Don't use food. Don't use alcohol or addiction to cover what you feel. Just surrender to it. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself grieve. Grieve an old life. Grieve an old life that you're going to leave behind. Surrender to it. Just say, this is a life I left behind, and this is a life I'm stepping into. So, yeah, this video is already 26 minutes long, so I apologize for the length. I guess I had a lot to say. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If I offended you, I hope that it's just erased from your mind. So, but yeah, I think I'll be doing some more stuff with both of these card decks together. I've also got some other things on order too. I've ordered the cosmic reading cards and another deck as well that kind of deal with things. I would really kind of like to see indigo angel cards paired with some sort of cosmic cards so that we get that energy of the cosmos, like Mary from the Indigo Angels with like star seed children, you know, just to really start getting that into our consciousness. It's already coming to fruition with us as beings on Earth. We know that we have a connection. We know that we're starseed. If the Big Bang happened, if you believe in that everything and all matter and all creation and all beings came from that, well, we came from the farthest star. We are the manifestation of something very cosmic, something that has an infinity, and we're here. So, that's what's coming through. So, I guess look out, because Scott's coming through. So, anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please comment. I love to hear your comments. I'll reply. I'll like them. If you have a good channel, I'll put you on the side. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll bring more of these to you. So I hope what I had to say in this long tome sent you some value. So step into your life. Step into this cosmic being that you are. You're more than you think you are. So anyway, have a great night. Namaste, everybody. Bye-bye. Love you.